Hello, welcome to Human Design Center. I'm glad that we share a common interest in human design, the science of differentiation, the art of living your life according to your unique design and genetic matrix that sustains it. Today, you are going to learn or recap, as the case may be, about Hexagram 11, peace, ideas, a harmonic condition in the individual society that permits assessment before renewed action. Hexagram 11 is part of fourth trimester of SIRIUS, where we accomplish our purpose through transformation, spirit, mutation. In this trimester, you complete your journey and gather everything you've learned and experienced. You find your purpose by being a human that fully lives the life with satisfaction. This fourth trimester is the place where you accept this purpose of being in form alive, where you get to the potential for transformation and awareness. Gate 11 corresponds to God Prometheus, who fixed the situation of incorrect distribution of skills for survival. He stole the fire from the gods to give it to humans as help. Zodiac sign, Sagittarius. Gate 11 flows within the collective sensing circuit, which is about the past, about visual perception, sharing from what we felt in the wave. Keyword, sharing, center, ajna, the mind center that is our cognitive awareness center from ideas to concepts. Ajna center is about my conceptualizing, processing, interpreting, or giving answers as options, concepts, or theories. The harmonic gate is number 56, the Wandery, gate of stimulation, being part of the projected channel 1156, the channel of curiosity, a design of a seeker. The harmonic 56 is the gate of casual historian and storyteller. It's about translating the human experience in language. This 56 gate wants to entertain, and to do so, they may add some flair, exaggerations, or use metaphors. They have the wildest stories and are just waiting for the ideal audience to captivate. The opposite gate is number 12, gate of caution, standstill. It's a stop codon, which is detailed in the material dedicated to this gate. Aminoacid, 309. Relevant organ, pituitary gland, which is at the top of endocrine system hierarchy in your body. The pituitary is a small pea-sized gland. It is found at the base of your brain, in line with the top of your nose. Your pituitary acts as your body's master gland. It tells other glands in your body what to do. Tarot card associated, 6 of Cups. Gate 11, in fourth trimester, in Prometheus, forms the channel with Gate 56, located in the second trimester of form and civilization, connecting harmoniously to Ma'at archetype. You'll see in the description of Gate 11 that the ideas of Prometheus need Ma'at and her skills as a storyteller to put in practice his ideas, to bring the audience that will be captivated by the ideas of Prometheus. Their relationship constructing the channel of curiosity, 11 and 56. In this relationship, Aminoacid 309 associated with Gate 11 must learn how to communicate with a stop codon in Gate 56. When is it advisable to stop before talking in 56? It is relevant for the value and functioning of this gate to observe that both the opposite and the harmonic gate are stop codons, which have the value of punctuation marks in our language, in our attitude, and in our behavior. Aminoacid threonine is the same for all 4 gates of Prometheus, 9, 5, 26, 11, and the first 4 lines of these hexagrams are identical. Your level of 309 in your body should be balanced. If Prometheus knows when to stop his ideas, and if he keeps a cautious relationship with Ma'at in this 56 gate, meaning, make sure how and when you share the ideas, pay attention not to become too unrealistic or dogmatic. For an optimum level of 309 in your body, use your ideas with inner peace for bringing peace and harmony. You'll understand the risks when you are going to listen the description of Gate 11 in this material a few minutes later. 309 is an essential amino acid that plays an important role in regulating protein balance in the body. Because it's considered an essential amino acid, that means the body doesn't synthesize the amino acid, so we need to eat foods high in threonine to obtain it. Threonine is a precursor to serine and glycine, two other amino acids that are needed for the body to function properly. As a parenthesis for you to ponder, I would outline that serine is associated with gate 52, making the channel of concentration with the 309 of gate 9 of Prometheus. You may also note the connection of 309 as a precursor for all the gates of Prometheus with glycine that is associated with gates 40, 64, 47, 6 of goddess Harmonia in trimester 3 of relationships. What if harmony in relationships would be based on details of gate 9, on the ideas and peace of gate 11, on fixed rhythms of gate 5, since glycine is based on 309 as a precursor? You may also think about the relation between 309 and serine, Prometheus and Parvati, and write in the comments, how do you see this interaction? I have to say it's fascinating for me, but I am still researching on these kind of connections, thanks to my talented teacher, human design analyst, Awana. Let's close the parenthesis and go back to 309 of gate 11. 309 protects the digestive tract by producing a mucus gel layer that covers it and serves as a barrier to damaging digestive enzymes. This important amino acid also supports healthy gut function by promoting the protective effects of the gut mucus barrier. According to research published in Frontiers in Bioscience, a large proportion of dietary 309 is utilized for intestinal mucosal protein synthesis. For this reason, consuming foods rich in threonine may help to improve gut health. We need enough 309 to support proper immune function. The thymus gland, in relation to gate 26, uses the 309 to make T cells, or T lymphocytes, that work to fight off infections inside the body. Did you know that collagen and elastin proteins need 309 for proper production? You may already know that collagen is the most abundant protein in the body, and it is found in our muscles, bones, skin, blood vessels, tendons, and digestive system. Because 309 allows for the production of collagen, it plays a vital role in the health of your bones and muscles. 309 also allows for proper elastin function. Elastin is a protein that's found in connective tissue and lets the skin, tendons, and ligaments resume shape after stretching or contracting. A conclusion of all these aspects is that threonine accelerates wound healing. Another important aspect to remember is that 309 prevents fat buildup in the liver. Deficiency of threonine may cause the following symptoms: digestive problems, irritability or emotional agitation, confusion, increased liver fat, poor nutrient absorption. It's clear that a proper functioning of gate 11, but also of the gates 26, 5, 9, whatever the case may be in your body graph, must be a priority in your life. The top threonine foods include organic meat, including chicken, lamb, beef, and turkey, wild-caught fish, including wild salmon, dairy products, cottage cheese, eggs, carrots, bananas, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, kidney beans, edamame, spirulina, lentils. So since we've located the gate on the mandala and on the body graph, and we have a general summary of the essential characteristics of gate 11M, now let's dive into the 11th gate message and energy. Gate 11 is a vital gate in the Ajna Center, the center of conceptualization and thought processing. This gate is commonly referred to as the gate of ideas and has the potential to emit prolific and imaginative ideas. It is associated with the peace hexagram, derived from the I Ching, indicating an intrinsic need for stillness and calm in order to properly cultivate and process the flow of ideas. People with gate 11 are often considered fountains of ideas, constantly producing concepts and thoughts on a wide range of topics. Their minds can be like fertile gardens, where the seeds of creativity are continually sown, sprouting into unique insights, innovations, and valuable intellectual contributions. However, it is important to note that Gate 11 is about the phase of issuing ideas and does not inherently carry the energy for the actualization, materialization, or manifestation of these ideas on a real and material plane. Manifestation and materialization often depend on the interaction with other gates and centers in the diagram, or on the connection of the gate with the defined ajna and a throat center, either through the channel that Gate 11 forms with 56, or materialization might appear because Gate 11's is an adverb for another channel that defines ajna and the throat center. Gate 11, as a function of the ajna center, is also closely related to how the world is perceived, understood, and interpreted. With this gate activated, people can approach life from a highly imaginative and creative perspective, approaching situations and circumstances through a lens that continually asks, how about this? Individuals with Gate 11 have minds which can constantly change and modify, making them innovative thinkers and excellent problem solvers. Gate 11 initiates itself and others into self-reflection with its ideas, but also knows that ideas are only as powerful as the timing in which they are delivered. On the negative end of the spectrum, Gate 11 is the energy for having an overactive imagination that leads to anxiety and fear. Above the lines of the Rave I Ching, it says, a harmonic condition in the individual or society that permits assessment before renewed action. Ideas generate the possibility for examination, and remember that they are not necessarily something to act on. It's not about action. Ideas are concepts designed to express what has been sensed. In Gate 11, possibilities are conceptualized into ideas. These ideas are not prescriptions for action because ideas come and go. At this point in the abstract process, we are given a quiet moment for assessment to sort out what has been remembered over the ups and downs of the experiential process. We are prone to remembering what we really liked about what we saw, while leaving the rest out. This is how ideas become ideals, then beliefs, and finally belief systems over time. This Gate 11 is in the channel of the searcher, the seeker, and it goes back to the pressure of the 47, oppression, which is all about trying to find a way to make sense out of what it is to be in the world. Here we have the gate of ideas and the possibility, awareness to visualize a realization or not. This is visual memory of the left eye. The mind of people with the 11th gate of ideas is the source of a great diversity of ideas, most of which are not meant to be expressed. There is a constant flow of ideas in the heads of people with Gate 11, many of which will not be realized. Most of their ideas need to be shared with others, not put into practice. They seek food for thought and like to discuss their ideas with others. The gate of ideas forms the various belief systems of humanity. It is indeed associated with the left eye and represents our visual memory. And this memory needs time to build a general idea from separate meanings. As you already know, this gate expresses ideas rather than facts. Now, be aware of how the left eye works here in Gate 11. 11. It does not see everything. It sees just what is there in the wave, in that specific wave, since it is on sensing circuit. If you are a left eye person and you go on a vacation and you stay in a place with a beautiful view and you experience a lot of pleasant activities or feelings, then you get home and somebody says to you, "What was it like in your vacation?" When you answer and describe it, there will be many things left out. There is a place in your wave, and the part of what you saw that you really like is the part you hold on to. Then somebody who knows the place says, "Wait a minute, wasn't there a mountain covered with pine trees?" And you answer, "Oh yes, there was the mountain. Now I remember." It is in a wave. It is the awareness to visualize a realization or not, and the awareness possibility is visual memory, and this is the left eye. Without 56, Gate 11 contains the ideas and ideals of the mind that are waiting for their right moment to be expressed, shared, but cannot always be heard and perceived by others. We must remember that Gate 11 is not into logic, which it considers lifeless. From the images once seen, the 11th gate creates an overall picture or a global scenario, namely, a new religious teaching, a new education, a new story, or a new movie. The most important thing for people who have this gate is to recognize that these ideas, no matter what the configuration is, are always for others. They are going to be most successful when they recognize that, because the moment they try to actualize their own ideas, they will end up with a lot of frustration and crisis in their life. The essential nature of the 11th gate is that small ideas can turn into big satisfaction, success, profit, or any kind of large returns, but it is essential to maintain balance between embracing ideas that promote social harmony and adopting beliefs that are connected in your present and practical reality. The ideas that arise from this gate are either very practical, or they can be idealistic, unrealistic, dogmatic, even fantastical. That is why it's important, when you get this flow of ideas, to ask yourself, are these practical ideas? Do they contribute to creating peace and harmony? Since Gate 11 is part of the collective sensing circuitry of the human design, and this one is very much involved in sharing beliefs, ideals, and rules and regulations, people with Gate 11 must acknowledge that their ideas can either bring harmony and peace or not. That is because peace and harmony comes from within and emanates out to the world. Visual memory is responsible for articulation in Gate 11. Ideas help them express verbally and figuratively what they felt from what they saw, and above all, what they liked. Their ideas are full of metaphors and vivid images. The mental energy of Gate 11 is more about sensing than logical. 11-type minds sort and divide the images to create a bigger picture, twisting them into a coherent script. People with Gate 11 collect individual ideas into a coherent script, history, or even philosophy or religion. What is important to know is that when an idea matures, it takes clear form, both in words and images. Gate 11 is the gate of fear of the dark, both literally and figuratively, being the gate of white magic. Walking through the 6 lines of the Gate 11, it's a process that will bring clarity to you in relation to nuances of the content and expression of the 11th gate. At the end, we will touch upon the crosses of incarnation, where Gate 11 plays its role and become part of the purpose. Let's see the 6 stages of development of this energy and possible dualism in its manifestation. Gate 11, Line 1, Attunement. Line 1 is the line of investigating, introspection, and here in Gate 11, it's called attunement. This line is the foundation, as all first lines are. This is a line that resonates deeply through the abstract process, the synchronicity of being in the right place at the right time. You see the resonance to the Gate 46, whose theme is to recognize that one is in the right place at the right time. To be in the right place at the right time means that whatever idea you have is of value in the moment that you have it. This is important for these people to understand. The idea process is a gift. The ideas can always be there. Any idea at any given moment has its value, but for others, not for you, not for the one that has Gate 11. Repeat. For you, the idea that you have is of value in the very moment that you have it. Remember, the first line is always foundational in any hexagram, and one of the foundational aspects of peace is living in, aligning with, attuning to the present moment. That's why the line is called attunement. Ideas come by attunement and alignment with your immediate environment. We can have all these great ideas about how things were and how things could be, but the bottom line with all ideas is, can we connect with them right now? What's the reality in this very moment, in our immediate environment? How do you find harmony and peace and ideas in this particular situation? Since Gate 11 is on collective circuit, since ideas come and go, finding the right people, the right company in which to share them, that is of great importance. Take advantage of your first line quality, that of easily recognizing those who appreciate and will further your ideas. If you have certain ideas right now, then go and find other people that embrace those ideas as well. And this state of being on the same page with others brings about harmony, moon exalted, the nourishment derived from being with those who share the same goals and aspirations. The beginning of any belief system, of religions, lies here in this gate, in this first line. 11 gate people are very concerned about whether anybody is going to have anything to do with their ideas, which is why idea people can be so passionate. Actually, this is also a concern of a first line gate, whether or not their nature is going to be accepted by the other. In the White Book, the gift of finding those who will value your ideas. This is the basic desire. They need to meet others who say, that is a great idea, whether that is a belief in something or not. They are also looking for people who will share the idea, people who wants to go along for the experience. They know that their idea is not a fact, and it is not necessarily a truth. When you get to the other side, you have the sense that no one will value your ideas. When there is nobody to value your idea, that is really painful for an idea man, since this is the foundation of what ideas are all about. An idea is only of value. You can share it with others. This is why they are constantly searching, not simply for a new idea, but they are searching for people who will embrace and share the idea with them. They go for that state of being on the same page with others, with those who value and share the idea. Gate 11. Together with the harmonic Gate 56, make the channel of curiosity, which is deeply social, mirroring the 23 and 43, which is more like individual. This channel can be or become hypnotic for the masses. A belief system might explode out of a social environment where people are there sharing the idea and saying, collectively, yes. From history, we know that ideas can be very dangerous in this way. Line 1 in the lower trigram cannot see the other side, cannot see the part of the channel. This is why the first line is more involved in understanding the nature of its own process, and yet, here in this channel of curiosity, through this 11th gate, there is a constant pressure to socialize, simply because the ideas are of no value unless they are shared with others. Gate 11, line 2, rigor. We call this line rigor because there is the recognition that without vigilance and risk, peace can lead to stagnation and collapse. This is a very creative line. It has an enormous potential in terms of creativity. This is the line of the bored artists. They are even bored with their own art at times because it depends on who is there in their life to recognize it with them. When they have a nice idea, the moment they try to project that out to others, others are bored. That is not my idea. Don't bore me with that. It is very difficult for them to project their ideas out to others who say, this is boring. It is much better for them to work with their ideas within themselves as an imaginative process. That is because the second line is a line of projection, but this second line is the great line of boredom due to the fact that it is extremely difficult to get anybody to pay attention to your ideas. You are projecting ideas out without the value of introspection. The second line always has a natural, even innocent approach to things. And this line is asking for alertness to be focused on figuring out whether it's okay to be rigorous, vigilant, independent, rather than fitting in with everybody else's belief systems, ideas, and concepts. To maintain peace and foster your creative ideas, it's necessary for you to remain vigilant. The world's real thought leaders have always gone outside the regular mainstream. They've always gone looking into other possibilities. And that's the nature of the 11th gate. It's about recognizing that there are certain things we can do that aren't necessarily part of the mainstream, but can bring about harmony for people. Your expansive imagination is constantly checking all possibilities for a harmonious life. The key thing in the end is that we're not all here to follow the sheep in front of us and go along with everybody else's concepts and theologies. There are so many different pathways available to us if we stay alert to the potentials life has to offer. When Neptune is here, he is exalted and communicate the message, the imagination applied to ensuring the understanding of achieved values. For people with Neptune in this line, it is a must to acknowledge that they should keep their ideas within themselves, because only then they can lead to the fruit that is very creative. Mars is in detriment here, the resorting to factionalism to satisfy the ego's need for action. This is the case of a second line that is with his friends, and the second line brings an idea, but this very idea will cause argument between these friends. In the meantime, the second line in detriment, after throwing that idea, sit back and watch his friends arguing, being bored by this situation. Line 2 is about provoking with ideas to escape boredom. A sense of boredom overcome through the imagination. Gate 11, line 3, the realist. We think about this third line as for any third line, such as, it's about pushing the limit, it's about being the first one to try something out, and also about replacing the old with the new. All these are about bonds made and broken. In this line, you have to allow the change to come with relevant and fresh ideas in order to maintain peacefulness. You have, for sure, plenty of ideas, but are they fresh or are they stale and old? Old concepts, old belief systems. Do you understand that you need to discern a difference between valuable ideas and those that are simply idealistic? Do you know that the valuable ideas are those that are practical in the end? And also you may clarify what are the ideas that can be implemented in a way that brings harmony. Pay attention to your tendency to become bewitched by an unrealistic attachment to harmony. For you, the third line, too much uninterrupted harmony is just boring, and your life will not let you to be bored, because the potential for interruption, it's always there, in your nature. It might sound like a discomfort or a negative message here, but it is your truth to recognize that interruption and to embrace it. Once you are connected to this truth and it becomes your way, you allow yourself to promote new concepts and ideas in life. Let's clarify why this third line is the realist. You remember that we learned earlier that the essence of a third line is bonds made and broken. But there is also something to observe. The third line of an abstract process resonates deeply to the emotional side. So, you are dealing with an emotional wave in which contact is being made and broken, and the realist is being realistic about the nature of ideas itself, meaning third line recognizes that ideas are transitory. More than that, this is in line with the fact that in the format energy that runs the sensing circuit, there are always beginnings, middles, and ends. The acknowledgement that peace is transitory, Pluto exalted, the internal renewal to maintain strength and alertness, Venus in detriment, the tendency to appreciate harmony to the point of delusion, the belief that beauty is eternal. Forgetting the message of Pluto exalted, you have to observe that third lines are not only those who make bonds and break them, but they can be very irresponsible in all that. Their inner truth is the realization that ideas come and go. This is why the third lines will never take any of these ideas seriously. Even if they may produce absolutely brilliant ideas, in fact, it is others that will take them seriously. They rarely take their own ideas seriously because ideas transitory, a pleasure in ideas that have no real application, somebody who has an idea about flying to another galaxy, to meet his ancestors. This kind of idea does not mean anything. Another example, wouldn't it be great to have 3-sided houses replacing the 4-sided ones? These ideas are only issued for the pleasure of issuing them. There is no real application. These people love ideas that simply have no application whatsoever. It is just for the beauty of what an idea is. Theoretically, it's a privilege to have this kind of consciousness, but the scary part is the risk of taking these ideas seriously. The moment you take this idea seriously, there will be crisis, negative impact, and unexpected consequences in the real material plane. The good part of this kind of ideas is that you do not need anyone to agree with you. You don't have to do something with the idea, even if it's infuriating others, such as your parents. I have the idea of being a farmer on Mars, but later in life you become an accountant in your small town. This happened because the idea had no real application, because the idea changed. Ideas come and go in a different way for each of the 6 lines. If you understood the point, remember that when you have a boyfriend with this line who tells you, "Let's go on a safari trip tomorrow," don't take days off from work. Do not pack. Do not buy special clothes for safari. Gate 11, line 4, the teacher. To understand this line, the teacher, we have to recap what a 4th line is. It is naturally influential. It's naturally able to reach a larger audience and a natural promoter of harmony. The teacher shares ideals and has the ability to consider and convey ideas of merit to others. But there is a specific way of dealing with ideas. Ideas come through, and you have nobody to tell them to. You should be prepared for this moment and then to write them down immediately, or register them, record them in some way. Otherwise, ideas will disappear. You should gather them all, and someday this whole bunch of ideas and concepts that came to you out of the blue can become a great book, or a training course, or else. This way, your ideas still have value for the people, even if there is no one to hear your idea at the exact moment in which they arrived. They have value to a certain moment, for certain people, at the right moment. Just take care of recording and mapping your ideas on the spot. This might bring you peace. Now, since we are into the upper trigram, we know that, starting with the 4th line, the other part of the channel can be seen. In other words, the 4th line here is going to externalize and enter into very fixed one-track process. This channel, 11 and 56, is very social, and there is enormous frustration in the first 3 lines about not really being successful at crossing the line to get to the point of stimulation in the 56th gate in order to find the believers. Fixation is related to a single idea and to its ability to look across and know how to stimulate. Being a 4th line, seeing the other gate at the end of the channel, we recognize here a quality and a capacity to stimulate. It is one of several lines that have more than 2 planets fixing it, and so it is unusual in that nature itself. The ability to express the essential nature of peace. Take a minute and think what a teacher is. He has to teach the ignorance, the children, with no experience or knowledge of the world. Let's call them students. These students do not understand what you are teaching, but they have to believe you first. When I say teacher, I mean a formal or non-formal teacher. Our parents also. What is common for all of them, in the role of a teacher, is that through teachers we always found disillusionment, meaning that what we thought we were being taught was of value, instead turned out to be an illusion. The essence to remember from this is, the teacher, traditionally, get those students to believe. Moon exalted. The sage who in the extreme can teach harmony to the tone deaf. Venus is also exalted. The ability to reach out and touch the alienated. The sun in detriment. The guru whose most valued wisdom is intentionally limited to a few. In the book of letters, it is written very clear. Concepts which are clear and transferable. Ideas that can attract and inform the uneducated. Attracting and informing those who are not educated is a process that is successfully achieved by these great missionaries. Also, we have here all religious dogma. This is the gate of white magic, and this 4th line of gate 11 refers to the representatives of white magic, narrow-minded, locked in their own track, and they can be brilliant, but on the other side, they can also be very dangerous because they have the power to attract people. They have the power to strongly say to others, I believe. This is one of most dogmatic of all gates, and this is the nature of white magic. if everybody believes the Snow White won't die? If we go back to the concept of son in detriment, the guru whose most valued wisdom is intentionally limited to a few. It's very clear that fourth line here, in detriment, it's about ideas can only be grasped by a few, which is the nature of a guru. There are not so many people capable of understanding what a guru communicate. The classic example that I learned about is Einstein. You know that he wrote this theory of relativity in 1904, and there are thousands of people who understand anything of it. There are only some people who are able to grasp it, and a lot of people that are not capable to understand this theory. There is a limited access to information, and for this reason is equally dangerous, as useful it can be for a small number of people. It is dangerous because it is accessible only to a few people that are attached by the guru, and only they can understand that idea since it's reserved for them, for that fringe of people. Talking about this fourth line, we return to an information that you all might know, but it's important to repeat it here. We had a throat chakra mutation that took place 80,000 to 90,000 years ago. What is important to know about this mutation is that it took place in the 12.4. Exactly opposite that line in the Zodiac is the 11.4. In human design, Ra Uru Hu said about this opposition, this opened up the whole possibility of the mind and the possibility to begin the process of articulating ideas. This has had enormous influence in the world ever since. Anybody who was born with either the sun, earth, or the nodes in the 11.4 has the 12.4 on the other side, and this is the line of the prophet. This is a very powerful opposition. It has caused as much pain as it has caused glory. That is its nature. Believe in me, and you shall be redeemed. Gate 11, line 5, the philanthropist. When you come to the fifth line, you always come to the complete expression of the hexagram. You come to a line of universalization. This gives you the best quality for the nature of this hexagram. It is called the philanthropist. Mercury in detriment. The withdrawing from direct contact, where giving is a form of defense. Giving away ideas out of a sense of insecurity. The withdrawing from direct contact, where giving is a form of defense. What you understand from this is that philanthropists will give away his or her ideas, either philosophic or humanitarian ideas. By giving away ideas, this may be of value to others, because the most important ideas are those that enable us to share the human experience and to be a guide for others, or be a leader. The politicians, as an example, give away their ideas, being withdrawn from direct contact with the people. By doing this, they serve the people, but this is a concept of leadership for this line that all rulers actually serve. The fifth line has that potential to see things that other people can't see and to be able to transmit ideas from what they see to humanity, to others. When fifth line of gate 11, transmit ideas, it's either from a sense of service or from an insecurity feeling. Exaltation, the motiveless nurturing of the disenfranchised to ensure harmony. Philosophic and humanitarian ideas. These are people who end up being philosophical writers. They give their ideas through a book or a movie. This way of giving idea means to be away from the individual contact. If you have this line, and there is someone you don't feel like talking with, you can give him a good idea, such as, "Why don't you go out and play, Matthew?" Give them an idea and send them away. This is a way of being defensive. How the idea comes out is never up to you when you are a fifth line. It is always up to the other side because the 56 is manifesting it. The 11.5 gate might say, "I can be very philanthropic. I have a wonderful idea for you." That can be something that is very beneficial, or it can be something that is very protective. Gate 11, line 6, adaptability. The sixth line is where it likes to be, on the roof of the house, as all 6 lines of each gate. You come to transition in this line. It is called adaptability, the inner balance to accept transition. Neptune exalted. The innate awareness that all forms are transitory. This is the resonance to the third line. The realist. The realist begins this process and recognizes that ideas come and go. This is more than that. It is the expression of ideas. The sixth line goes far beyond what is there in the channel. It is interested in the entire experience of the circuit, with an innate awareness that all forms are transitory. In the sixth line of gate 11, you know what can really happen. You understand the possibilities for harmony on planet Earth, and you know that ideas come and go. You know the importance of being flexible. This is why you have the gift to maintain an inner balance. Disregard how many belief patterns would change. That is your adaptability. In relation to this, we've seen the way that religions played out 1,000 years ago. They're very different from how they evolve these days. They're still working on the same basis, the same characters, the same central beliefs, but they've transformed, they've been put into different concepts and ideals or different levels of importance. Since ideas come and go, religions are based on ideas that come and go. They are going to melt away. And it's nothing good or bad. It's the evolution of the individual, after all. It's natural these days to move away from dogmatic ideas, from fixed and limited concepts. Society does not accept any longer only one perspective or one possibility. We are all adaptable, heading towards a more flexible understanding and interpretation of the biverse, of God, or whatever belief or conceptual system you might think of. That is the process of sixth line of gate 11, our own conceptual adaptability, along the evolution path and throughout the history. Regarding this line, you might want to ponder something. You may have observed that a lot of the people we know have great regrets at the end of their lives when they suddenly acknowledge that they've been living their own life according to the ideas of other people around them. But they never lived according to their own concepts, beliefs, and ideas. Do not repeat this pattern. Escape from this. How? By being flexible in your ideas, being adaptable while maintaining your inner balance. Embracing new beliefs allows you to maintain your sense of balance in changing times. This is where and how we find harmony in our lives. And the sixth line of 11th gate shows us where to start looking. Inside, Jupiter in detriment. Adaptability in its most negative manifestation. The speculator who profits at the expense of others in times of peace or war. Something lies within sixth lines that allows them to take the moment and capture it, and to be able to take advantage of their idea in that very moment. But their idea is more, or far beyond the manifestation in the throat. The sixth line is seeing how something operates throughout the whole collective process, and it is able to catch it and make some profit from it. This wouldn't be possible with old ideas, for sure. Ideas come and go and they are changeable. The sixth line people have a sense for what the whole process is about. They can see when the crisis is coming. They can see where the beginning of something is. They can be very lucky in the stock market. They can see when something is coming to an end, and they can be very lucky in terms of getting in and out of things. The greatest difficulty for idea people is to live out their own ideas. The sixth line is able to take advantage of their idea in that very moment. You have to remember that for this line, it is specific to them. To realize that ideas lead to change and are changeable, or to see what idea is of value in any situation. These people look at the situation as a whole, not at the manifestation. They connect with that whole possibility. Sometimes, because of taking advantage in certain situations with an idea, there are people that can feel like they are taken advantage of. But this is always the dichotomy that exists in lines. The 11 and 6th line is looking to the next gate in the mandala, meaning it is looking at gate 10.1, which is all about behavior. That is why what it is looking for over the roof is how everybody acts. Out of seeing the way in which the world behaves, they get their ideas of how they can take advantage of that behavior. This is not negative. That is not moralistic. It is simply that they take advantage for their own benefit. All those ideas are supposed to be for others, but not in detriment. In the detriment, the idea is really for the sixth line. They usually do not know how they've caught the idea. They cannot explain it to you. It's something they have seen on the whole circuit. It's about a lot of things they saw from the roof. Let's take an example. You ask a person with gate 11, line 6, how did you know it is useful to sell those shares? How did you get the idea? They cannot really explain to you. You will receive an answer that does not seem to be related at all to the question. Something like that. This summer is hotter than last year. Whether you consider that answer as their real idea or as something that just flashes into their mind makes no difference. The speculator is born with this gift and has the experience. The people who have the gift end up in situations surrounded by people who do not have the gift. They follow their trends. You might have tried to figure out how your college friend made his $10 billion. If he would answer to you to that question, you would think that is so easy, like there is no work. It was some idea that he saw and took advantage in that second, before everything changes. These people have the gift of comparison. They use this gift for looking over the whole collective sensing circuit, from the altitude of the roof, and they see and process with their gift a lot of things, a lot of ideas. They wouldn't tell anyone if they knew what shares to sell, because they would be afraid that you would tell your friend and ruin the whole thing. They have to use the idea in that very moment before something changes. Now let's move on to a different perspective to see how the 11th gate sustain or communicate the purpose of life through the crosses of incarnation that are established when the conscious sun is placed within the 11th gate. 11th hexagram, right angle cross of Eden 4, consisting of following gates: 11, 12, 6, 36. People with a philosophical orientation who educate others about the nature of experience and emotions on this plane, perhaps through music or poetry. We come into body from the ethereal world that has a lightness and a lack of density. This world is dense and has a heaviness to it. You are here to educate and pass on the importance of the body experience. You come in on the cross of Eden and are here to express this philosophy while being in body. Some can tend to be weighted down by the heaviness, and others can move to express the importance of being in body and how to live it out. You may experience the emotional oscillation between these 2 points of view. Juxtaposition, cross of ideas, consisting of following gates: 11, 12, 46, 25. Highly mutative people who collect universal concepts and can become important teachers or prophets, and are often fixed in a single direction. You are apt to be driven to express your ideas. The energy of your cross supports philosophizing and organizing thoughts, especially about being in body. This is about the physical experience of being human. You have the energy to teach or be a prophet and speak to the world. Left angle cross of education 2, consisting of following gates: 11, 12, 46, 25. People of peace, philanthropy, and propaganda, desiring to communicate often inexpressible ideas about human experience. Teaching is still the most profound thing humans do. You have the cross of education and the energy that supports the value of education. You are designed to be a proponent of education because it is a vehicle for us to gain a better understanding of who we are. As we understand who we are given a chance to evolve. Education is the basis of that evolution, and you are here to be involved and help make it available to all. I hope this material is helpful and supporting for the development of your human design knowledge. Please share if you enjoyed listening, and subscribe if you want to be notified about any new posting of informative learning materials regarding human design. Thank you.